It was a crisp, fog-draped morning in Austin, Texas, when the world's most unpredictable tech titan, Elon Musk, stepped out of his black Tesla Model S at the SpaceX headquarters. His mind was buzzing with neural network models and the latest breakthroughs in reusable rocket technology. Yet, as he strode through the sleek, glass-encased lobby, something unusual caught his eye: a petite woman wrapped in a dark trench coat standing near the reception desk. Her sharp eyes tracked his every move, and her posture spoke of a confidence that didn't quite match her unassuming appearance. As Elon passed by, their eyes locked for a split second. She gave a faint, knowing smile, a look that lingered just a bit too long. It was enough to make even the normally unshakable Musk falter in his step. Shaking off the moment, he continued to his private elevator, chalking it up to the usual swarm of curious fans or media trying to sneak into his life. But that woman wasn't just another curious observer. Within hours, her name and face flooded the media, plastered across every major news outlet from Fox to CNN. Her name was Amelia Hart, a former AI researcher with a mysterious past, now claiming to be the mother of one of Elon Musk's children. The initial reaction was pure disbelief. Musk's life, though chaotic, was meticulously documented. His known relationships, from the publicized romance with pop star Grimes to his past marriages, had produced several children, all well accounted for. But Amelia's claim was different. She spoke not just of a brief fling or a one-time encounter, but of a secret relationship stretching back nearly a decade, a time when Musk was still navigating the turbulent waters of his early SpaceX days. Skeptical as always, Musk dismissed the claims as absurd in a single, sharp X, formerly Twitter, post stating, "Another random claiming to be part of my life. Not the first, won't be the last. My kids are well known and loved." End of story. Yet, Amelia had more than just words. Within 24 hours, she provided a series of startling documents to the press: emails, old photos, and even a digital copy of an ultrasound that bore Musk's unmistakable signature on the consent form. The story exploded into a media frenzy, splitting public opinion. Musk's loyal followers dismissed it as a well-timed hoax, while others whispered of long-kept secrets and the possibility that the world's richest man had a child hidden from public view. As the pressure mounted, Musk's legal team moved quickly, filing a defamation lawsuit against Amelia. But Amelia, seemingly prepared for this, countered with a bold demand: a public DNA test to end the speculation once and for all. The world held its breath. Was Amelia just another fame-seeker, hoping to ride the wave of Musk's notoriety? Or was there a shocking truth hidden beneath the layers of his well-guarded empire? As the first swabs were taken, cameras flashed and news anchors speculated. But what no one could have predicted was just how shocking the results would be, a revelation that would ripple across industries, shake the tech world to its core, and force Musk to confront a past he thought he had left behind. As the world dissected every detail of Amelia Hart's claim, Elon Musk found himself in a rare, reflective mood. Sitting in his sleek, high-rise office overlooking the buzzing streets of Austin, he scrolled through old emails and digital archives, searching for any trace of this mysterious woman. His fingers paused on the glass surface of his tablet as he pulled up an old directory from the early SpaceX days. Amelia Hart. The name appeared in a few archived project files. She had been part of a small, specialized AI research team SpaceX had briefly collaborated with during the development of advanced autonomous systems for their early Mars rover prototypes. Musk's eyes narrowed as he scanned her file. She was brilliant, no doubt. A Stanford dropout with a reputation for pushing the boundaries of machine learning. Someone who had reportedly made a significant breakthrough in autonomous neural mapping. But then, without warning, she had vanished from the tech scene. Her promising career had gone cold, her papers unpublished, her code contributions silent. Musk couldn't recall why or when she had left, and that alone unsettled him. As the days dragged on, Musk's skepticism grew. He reached out to former colleagues, old friends, and even a few rivals, trying to piece together the fragments of Amelia's story. Some remembered her as a sharp, intense woman with a tendency to work alone, often pulling all-nighters and scribbling notes in cryptic, handwritten code. Others had no recollection of her at all, as if she had simply slipped through the cracks of history. Meanwhile, Amelia's media appearances became bolder, more frequent. She gave a sit-down interview to a major network, speaking softly yet confidently about their supposed affair. "Elon and I were both driven by a desire to change the world. It's what brought us together," she said, her blue eyes never blinking as the cameras zoomed in. "We shared ideas, dreams, and eventually something more." Musk watched the interview with a scowl, his jaw tightening as Amelia described late-night brainstorming sessions in the corner office of the old Hawthorne factory, the smell of rocket fuel mixing with the hum of server racks. Her words painted a picture that felt both eerily familiar and strangely fabricated, a distortion of reality wrapped in just enough truth to unnerve him. Then came the kicker. Amelia claimed their child was born in secret, raised in a quiet coastal town under her maiden name to protect his privacy from the harsh glare of Musk's fame. As the DNA test deadline approached, Musk found himself distracted. His team at Tesla noticed his shorter temper, the way his focus slipped during critical meetings, and how he often wandered off in the middle of tense technical discussions. SpaceX engineers whispered of their boss pacing the factory floors at odd hours, muttering to himself as he worked through his internal calculations. Finally, the day arrived. The DNA results, sealed in a thick, cream-colored envelope, were delivered to Musk's office by a pair of sharply dressed legal aides. They placed it on his desk and departed without a word, their footsteps echoing through the cavernous hallway. For a moment, Musk simply stared at the envelope, his pulse pounding in his ears. His fingers hovered over the seal, hesitating. He took a deep breath, his mind flashing through decades of decisions, risks, and gambles, all the moments that had defined his legacy. Then, with a sudden burst of resolve, he ripped open the envelope, his heart hammering as he scanned the first few lines of text. What he read would shake the very foundations of his carefully constructed empire and leave the world in collective disbelief. Elon's eyes raced across the crisp, neatly typed words on the DNA report. He gripped the edges of the paper tightly, his knuckles turning white as he read the single, devastating line that stood out among the medical jargon. Probability of paternity, 99.9%. For a moment, the world around him seemed to blur, the constant hum of his AI assistants and the gentle whir of the Tesla solar roof outside his office fading into silence. His mind struggled to process what he was seeing. The test, conducted by one of the most respected forensic labs in the country, had confirmed it. Amelia Hart's child was, biologically, his. A wave of disbelief washed over him, quickly followed by anger. Musk's thoughts spun in a chaotic whirl. How could this be? He had been careful, meticulously controlling every aspect of his public and private life to avoid exactly this kind of chaos. Yet here it was, staring him in the face, undeniable, scientific proof. Dropping the paper onto his desk, Musk sank back into his chair, staring at the ceiling as if hoping for some cosmic answer to appear. Memories, long buried beneath years of relentless work and calculated ambition, began to surface. Flashes of late-night conversations in the dimly lit SpaceX control room, whispered exchanges over clinking glasses of whiskey, and the ghost of a fleeting romance that he had convinced himself was nothing more than a forgotten chapter. As the reality of his situation settled over him, Musk's mind shifted from shock to strategy. He couldn't afford to lose control, not now. His companies, Tesla, SpaceX, Neuralink, all thrived on the image of their brilliant, unshakable founder. A scandal like this could ripple across stock markets, shake investor confidence, and fuel the ambitions of his competitors. He needed answers, and he needed them fast. Reaching for his phone, he quickly dialed his chief legal officer, giving a set of rapid-fire instructions to investigate every possible angle, from Amelia's past to the details of the DNA test itself. If there was a flaw, a crack, a single loose thread, he would find it. Hours later, as the sun dipped below the Austin skyline, Musk's phone buzzed. It was his head of security, a former CIA operative known for his quiet efficiency. "Elon, we've looked into Amelia's history. There's something you need to know," the man said, his voice low and tense. "She's not just an AI researcher. She had deep ties to some very secretive defense projects before she disappeared from the scene." Musk frowned, leaning forward as the man continued. "She was part of a black-budget project, DARPA-level secrecy. Something to do with advanced autonomous warfare systems. Then, one day, she walked away from it all. Vanished without a trace." Musk felt a chill run down his spine. This wasn't just a matter of a forgotten romance or a hidden child. Amelia Hart was a ghost from the deepest corners of the tech world, someone who clearly knew how to cover her tracks and play the long game. As Musk leaned back, his mind raced with possibilities. Was this about money? Revenge? Or something deeper, a calculated move designed to strike at his most vulnerable point? Then, the security chief dropped the final bombshell. "Elon, one more thing. We checked her digital footprint. Her recent communications show she's been in contact with several known hackers and whistleblowers. Whatever she's planning, it's big. Musk's jaw tightened. He had underestimated her, and that was a mistake he couldn't afford to make again. With his mind now fully locked onto the challenge, Musk made a silent vow he would uncover the full truth behind Amelia Hart's claims, no matter the cost. And if she thought she could outmaneuver him, she was in for the fight of her life. As the days passed, the media circus surrounding Amelia's claim only grew louder. Paparazzi swarmed outside SpaceX, Tesla, and even Musk's private residence, hoping for a glimpse of the billionaire as he navigated what had become the most unexpected twist in his storied life. But behind closed doors, Musk had moved from shock to action, his mind whirring with the same intense focus that had built rockets and revolutionized electric vehicles. Late one night, Musk found himself alone in the dim glow of his office screens. Amelia's old research files lay open on his monitor, pages of complex code and technical notes written in her distinctive, almost poetic style. Musk's eyes scanned the lines of code, looking for something, anything that might explain her sudden reappearance. Then, as if struck by a bolt of insight, he noticed a pattern. Hidden within the lines of Amelia's old neural network code were strings of numbers and letters that didn't fit. They weren't commands or functions, they were encrypted messages. He quickly copied the strings into his own algorithm, running them through a series of decryption protocols. Minutes later, his screen lit up with a decoded message. It was a single, chilling line. "Our son is not just a child. He is the key." Musk leaned back in his chair, his mind racing. The key? The key to what? What had Amelia been working on all those years ago, and why was she now leveraging their son as some sort of pawn in this cryptic game? Digging deeper, Musk uncovered more messages, each one embedded within different projects Amelia had worked on during her brief stint at SpaceX. She had clearly planned this, laying digital breadcrumbs that only someone with Musk's technical expertise could follow. It was a twisted form of digital chess, a game designed for one opponent, him. The next message was even more unsettling. "You created the most powerful AI, but I created the one thing you never could, a human mind enhanced by machine intelligence. You called it a dream. I made it a reality." Musk's pulse quickened. Could she have actually done it? Could their child be a human-AI hybrid, a living embodiment of the singularity he had often warned the world about? His thoughts were interrupted by a sudden, sharp ping from his phone. It was his chief security officer again, this time with an urgent tone. "Elon, we've found something. Amelia's been working out of a remote, fortified compound near the California coast. High-tech security, encrypted signals coming in and out, and a private satellite feed. Whatever she's doing, it's big." Musk clenched his fist, his eyes narrowing as he stared at the flickering lines of code on his screen. If Amelia had truly created a human-AI hybrid, then this wasn't just about family drama or personal betrayal. This was about the future of humanity itself, a game-changing breakthrough that could alter the course of history. But as the pieces of the puzzle fell into place, Musk realized something else. Amelia had chosen this moment, this exact point in time, to reveal her secret. It wasn't random. It was part of a larger plan, a carefully orchestrated maneuver meant to catch him off guard. As Musk rose from his chair, his mind locked onto a single, burning thought: he had to find her, confront her, and uncover the full truth before it was too late. Because if Amelia's claims were true, then the stakes were far higher than anyone realized, and the world as he knew it might never be the same again. Musk's private jet cut through the night sky, streaking toward the remote California coastline where Amelia's compound was hidden. He sat in the back, his fingers tapping restlessly on his knee as the engines hummed around him. His mind raced, a chaotic blend of anger, confusion, and a faint, unsettling hope that somehow this encounter would reveal a truth he could live with. As the jet touched down on a small, private airstrip shrouded in coastal fog, Musk's security team quickly moved into formation, surrounding him as they approached the heavily fortified gates of the compound. It was a stark, imposing structure, all sharp angles and darkened glass, perched precariously on the edge of a jagged cliff, the Pacific Ocean churning violently below. The gates creaked open, and a lone figure emerged, her silhouette framed by the harsh, artificial glow of overhead lights. It was Amelia, her eyes bright and unblinking as she stepped forward, the wind whipping her dark hair around her face. She held up a hand, and Musk's security team paused, uncertain. Musk took a deep breath, stepping past his guards and moving toward her. The two stood in silence for a moment, the roar of the crashing waves the only sound between them. You've gone to a lot of trouble to get my attention, Musk said, his voice low and edged with anger. I'm here. Now tell me the truth. Amelia's lips curled into a small, almost satisfied smile. She gestured for him to follow her inside, and Musk hesitated for only a moment before stepping into the darkness of the compound. The interior was a stark contrast to the cold, fortress-like exterior. Sleek screens lined the walls, displaying streams of real-time data, holographic models, and complex AI simulations. Amelia led him down a long hallway, their footsteps echoing off the polished metal floors until they reached a spacious lab filled with blinking monitors and softly humming servers. At the center of the room stood a small, glass-enclosed chamber. Inside, a young boy, no older than 8 or 9, sat quietly, his bright, curious eyes fixed on a screen displaying swirling galaxies and mathematical equations. Musk felt his heart catch in his throat. The boy had his sharp, intelligent eyes, his unmistakable high cheekbones, and the same intense focus he saw in the mirror every morning. "This is our son, Elon," Amelia said softly, her voice carrying a hint of pride. "But he is so much more than just a child. He's the future, a perfect blend of human creativity and machine logic." Musk took a step closer, his eyes never leaving the boy. "What have you done?" he whispered, his voice thick with a mix of awe and fear. Amelia stepped beside him, her eyes shining with conviction. "I took your dreams, your visions of a smarter, better humanity, and made them real. He is the first true human-AI hybrid, a being capable of learning, adapting, and evolving beyond anything either of us ever imagined." The boy looked up, his eyes meeting Musk's for the first time. There was a spark of recognition, a flicker of understanding that sent a chill down Musk's spine. "Hello, father," the boy said, his voice calm and clear, each word carefully measured. "I've been waiting to meet you." Musk felt his knees weaken, the room spinning around him as the full weight of the moment crashed down upon him. This was his son, his legacy, his greatest creation, and perhaps his greatest mistake. Amelia stepped back, her face lit by the soft glow of the monitors as she watched Musk struggle to process the reality before him. "You always talked about changing the world," she said, her voice a whisper in the cold, sterile air. "Well, now you have." As Musk reached out, his fingers brushing the cool glass of the chamber, the boy's eyes followed him, their shared bond unspoken but undeniable. And in that moment, as father and son locked eyes for the first time, Elon Musk realized that the world he had spent his entire life trying to shape had just changed forever, and there was no going back.